Today we're going to look at the ASUS G11 pre-built PC from 2014. It included an i5 6500, 8 gigs of DDR4 RAM, a 1 terabyte hard drive, which we replaced with a SATA hard drive, and the video card was a blower style NVIDIA GTX 970 4 gigabyte. The front of this PC had some red lighting here, blue and red, and this keyboard also had the same settings. You can kind of tell the age of this computer because of the volume knob, but I think it looks pretty good considering it's 10 years old. But unfortunately this flickers when the video is on. It doesn't flicker in real life. Anyway, for the rest of the video we're going to do some benchmark tests, and then we're going to just get into playing a couple of games, see how it handles newer titles. I don't think it's going to handle everything, but you should be, if you found the right price for this, it would be a good value to get into gaming. We're about ready to load into Fortnite. Unfortunately, it got to the login and then crashed the first time. It seemed to do this the other time that I tested Fortnite on this computer as well. I don't know why that's happening, but the load time is kind of slow because we're only working with a processor with 4 cores and 4 threads, and Fortnite likes more of them. Let's see what settings it picks for us. This system definitely is very noisy. The processor fan seems to be a little weak and old, even though we put new thermal paste on there. So Fortnite was complaining about DirectX 12 drivers, so we're going to download the latest NVIDIA drivers that are available for this card. It's decided that we're going to do DX12, which is ridiculous. And rest of, I don't know why it's medium and all this here. This is a pretty old GPU, so I would not do mediums. So I'm going to come up here and pick low, I think. I'm going to throw a performance mode on there, and Fortnite has to restart, so we're going to pause the video. We're now signing into Fortnite after setting performance mode and rebooting the application, that is. I'm going to come in here and go to performance mode and adjust the settings. We only have a computer that's going to do 60 FPS because of the monitor. Distance is fine. Do low textures just for a few more FPS here. Show the FPS. Unfortunately, it keeps locking up like this. It bounces off 0 PS. It seemed to get a little bit smoother once I land and run around, but as you can see, it's pretty blobby. It's getting a bad connection warning too. The first run through, so sometimes it's a little bit slower the first time. After this loaded in here, it seems like it's pretty solid on 60 FPS. I'm gonna have to try to find some fights and see if it gets bad. Got a spike there down to like 25 FPS. What I can tell in this video, it seems that this GPU is not really paired too well with this card. It's only doing 50%, 50 to 60% of its utilization. So this really could use probably an i7 6700K or a similar processor, and it probably would match this much better. But again, this is a pre-built, so they cut corners a lot of the time. Oh, those entertaining death thing. Seems that Fortnite isn't handling this combination very well. So far, playing this shows an okay FPS, but I've seen it lock up a couple times, so figured it would give a shot to another Unreal 5 game and see if it performs any better. This is going to be at the lowest settings. Unfortunately, to just play this game on this computer, the processor took about an hour and a half to compile the shaders. But here's the settings that we're using. Just did 1080p and no scaling. I think the fact that this processor is only 4-core and 4-thread probably makes that not the best choice. Probably if you wanted to try to play this, you could drop this down to 720 and it probably would perform okay, but that just looks really bad. I'm terrible at this game, so we're just picking the Punisher because it's the Soldier 71 of Marvel Rivals. As you can see, it's the 1% and 0.1% are not so great in this. You get close to people, it's just lag fest. You get down to this 0 FPS. This video card does have a weird memory configuration where a small portion of the memory is slower than the rest. So if you cross over that number, it'll go down to 0 FPS and just be terrible. For the heck of it here, let's just try 720p and see. Really didn't drop the GPU usage, memory usage down very much. I mean, this is kind of the thing, we're using a really old video card, so trying to play more recent Unreal 5 engine games is tough even on modern graphics cards, but it's just using too much memory for this particular card. I wish there was a way to make it use 3 megabytes of memory in this just to see if it would perform better. Well, this is Marvel Rivals. I'm gonna move on to some other games that this video card can handle that are newer games, but not Unreal 5. So now I'm going to play the game Sworn, which is by Team 17, who also created the Worm series of games. The attraction of Sworn is that it's a Hades style game, except that you can do multiplayer on it, so that adds quite a bit of fun with your friend to play this game with your friends. And the mechanic when you play multiplayer and die is you can revive the person, but there's generally a curse put on your team. Hopefully this stays below the 3500 megabyte usage, because that's where the GPU tends to like slow down. But this is a simpler game, so it may not matter. See, it's pretty similar to, there's even gods like Hades has. Yeah, this low, the 1% lows are just like switching rooms where it's still loading. As expected, this game runs just fine. So you really, even with this old GPU, you can still have a lot of fun with various games. Even newer games will still work as long as you're doing like indie style games, or of course it would run PlayStation and Nintendo and all of those sort of emulator games. So if you came across this computer and somebody was just giving it to you, or it was very cheap on eBay or another selling platform, it definitely would be worth picking up. However, these video cards, they were going around $30 to $35. However, I don't think I would go out and try to find a system like this, because the value just isn't there. The video card you can get around $30 to $35, and unfortunately, I think the RX 580 is much better value. It's not too much more than this card, and can still handle Fortnite and Marvel Rivals and other games in lower resolutions, whereas this card doesn't seem to be able to handle it at all.